Sail with us into the heart of the Golden Age of Piracy, where two women defied every expectation and carved their names into legend. This is the untold story of Anne Bonny and Mary Read, fearless pirates who ruled the seas alongside men, yet stood out as symbols of rebellion, courage, and freedom. Stay with us as we uncover their daring adventures, hidden struggles, and the legacy that still fascinates the world today. Anne Bonny was born in Ireland around 1697, the daughter of a lawyer and his maid. Her father disguised her as a boy to avoid scandal, but Anne's fiery spirit could not be hidden. She grew up with a restless heart, refusing to accept the quiet life expected of women at the time. This determination to live freely would one day lead her to abandon everything she knew and embrace a life of piracy on the open seas. Mary Read's childhood was just as unconventional. Born in England, she was dressed as a boy by her mother to secure financial support from her grandmother. For much of her youth, Mary lived under this disguise, finding freedom in male-dominated spaces. She joined the military, fought bravely in battles, and learned the skills of a fighter long before she ever set foot on a pirate ship. The lives of Anne Bonny and Mary Read would eventually collide aboard the pirate ship Revenge, captained by the notorious Calico Jack Rackham. While Anne was already Jack's lover and partner in crime, Mary joined the crew in disguise as a man. It didn't take long for Anne to discover Mary's secret, and rather than becoming rivals, the two women formed a bond that would change the course of their lives forever. Anne and Mary were no ordinary crew members. Unlike some pirates who hesitated in combat, both women fought fiercely in raids and skirmishes. Witnesses claimed they were often the most ferocious in battle, wielding cutlasses and pistols with unmatched courage. Their presence shattered the idea that piracy was a man's world, proving that strength and leadership could come from anyone bold enough to seize it. Life as a pirate was not just about treasure, it was about freedom. For Anne Bonny, piracy meant escaping an arranged marriage and the limitations of society. For Mary Read, it was a chance to live openly as herself, no longer forced into disguises. Together, they embraced the chaos of the seas, where loyalty, bravery, and ambition mattered more than birth or gender. Despite their strengths, Anne and Mary's story was also filled with danger. The crew of the Revenge became targets of the law, and their ship was hunted relentlessly. Every raid brought both reward and risk, yet the women refused to back down. Instead, they became symbols of resistance, living proof that even in the harshest of times, courage could light the way forward. Anne's relationship with Calico Jack was passionate but also turbulent. While Jack enjoyed the pirate's life of plunder and revelry, Anne demanded more than just indulgence. She craved the thrill of battle, the respect of her crew, and the freedom to chart her own destiny. This fiery ambition made her a figure that even hardened sailors admired, though many also feared her sharp temper. Mary Read's past as a soldier gave her an edge in combat. She was known to fight until the very end, refusing to surrender even when defeat seemed certain. Stories spread among sailors that Mary could match any man in strength and ferocity. Her determination came not only from survival, but from a deep desire to live authentically in a world that tried to define her. One of the most famous accounts of Anne and Mary came during the final stand of the Revenge. When the ship was attacked by authorities, most of the crew hid below deck, unwilling to fight. But Anne and Mary refused to cower. They stormed the deck, pistols in hand, and held their ground until they were finally overpowered. Their courage in that moment became legendary. After their capture, the pirates were sentenced to death. But both Anne and Mary revealed they were pregnant, a claim that spared them from immediate execution. This twist in fate added mystery to their story, as records of their lives after imprisonment remain unclear. Some say Mary died in jail, while Anne may have escaped to live a quiet life under a new identity. The legacy of Anne Bonny and Mary Read is not just about piracy, but about breaking barriers. At a time when women were expected to remain silent and obedient, they took command of their own lives, even if it meant defying the law. Their defiance continues to inspire countless books, plays, and films, keeping their story alive for generations. Legends describe Anne as fiery, impulsive, and fiercely independent, while Mary was disciplined, loyal, and strategic. Together, they balanced each other, making them a powerful duo at sea. Their friendship and partnership proved that, even in the roughest waters, solidarity could become a weapon stronger than any sword or gun. Although piracy was dangerous and often short-lived, it offered opportunities that society denied women. On a pirate ship, courage was valued more than social status. For Anne and Mary, piracy was not only an escape, but also a revolution, proof that they could live as equals among men, even if only for a brief and turbulent time. The Golden Age of Piracy was filled with larger-than-life figures like Blackbeard and Bartholomew Roberts. But Anne Bonny and Mary Read carved their own place among them. Their names endure because they challenged expectations, showing the world that adventure, power, and fearlessness were not reserved for men alone. Stories of Anne Bonny often highlight her sharp tongue and fiery personality. She was said to threaten anyone who crossed her, and her words cut as deeply as her sword. Sailors remembered her as someone who never backed down, whether in an argument or in battle. This unshakable willpower is what made her unforgettable. Mary Read's story is one of resilience. From childhood disguises to life as a soldier and pirate, she continually adapted to survive. Though her path was shaped by deception at first, she transformed it into strength, proving that identity is not defined by others, but by the choices we make. Though many records of their lives are clouded by myth, Anne and Mary's existence is undeniable. Their trials were documented in colonial archives, and their exploits became the subject of countless tales. Whether embellished or not, their courage remains a historical truth that inspires people to this day. For centuries, women were written out of maritime history, their contributions overlooked or erased. Yet Anne Bonny and Mary Read stand as proof that women not only sailed but fought, commanded, and changed the course of history. Their story invites us to look deeper at the forgotten figures who shaped the past. Today, Anne Bonny and Mary Read are remembered not only as pirates but as icons of rebellion. Their legacy resonates in popular culture, from novels to video games, reminding us that their spirit of independence still sails on the waves of imagination. They remain symbols of what it means to live boldly against the odds. The tale of Anne Bonny and Mary Read is more than just a pirate story. It is a testament to freedom, courage, and the refusal to accept limits. Though centuries have passed, their names endure like whispers across the ocean. As the sun sets on their legend, we are reminded that true power lies not in conformity, but in daring to live life on our own terms.